We are back. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, and all that good stuff. Today I got a very special guest, Riley, my man.
Brother.
Thank you so much for coming to the show.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
Woo!
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, very excited too,
brother.
man. We've been chopping it up, and every time we talk, 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
We got to kind of slow
it down.
We're
going
sometimes.
deep. We're going deep. And when I hold up, bro, say that for the podcast.
100%.
And we already rescheduled like 3 times.
I was about to say, what number are we on right now?
Like, rescheduled like 3 times. So finally, Friday at 4 p.m. Now we're making it happen.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, brother.
For those that don't know who you are, walk us through a little bit about your story, your upbringing, and
100%. A little long story short kind of deal. Not too short, but medium-ish. Born in California, semi-raised there. Father never was really actually in the picture at all. Mom kind of wore both roles. Did very good at putting a lot of very, you know what I'm saying, good head on their shoulders men in front of me to lead me in the right path.
Awesome.
Definitely was something that turned me away from that path to go down a little darker path with my anger, stuff like that, because right out of the hospital, Dad left real quick, nice and easy. Left us high and dry. Never knew why. And then, of course, like the older you get, the more questions you want to ask. Single parent, you start to push those questions. They try to close some doors, shut some windows, really try to be like, hey, talk to me when you're older, right? I'm talking since I was 12, I got that same response. Wow. 13, 14, hey, come talk to me when you're older. 15, 16. So at 16, you know, when I'm up behind the wheel, driving, thinking I'm controlling the world, I'm like, hey, I want some answers. Huh. Not ever getting any answers. Finally got answers when I was older. Long story short, again, he kind of had his own path, got into drugs, prison, stuff like that. Just really wanted to kind of do his own thing. The drugs kind of put his mental perspective not in a clear-headed way. Thought he wanted a different life, took that life. Wanted to come back, kind of was a little too late, didn't want anything to do with him. Moved to Texas real quick. Mom moved to Texas, packed the bags, didn't hesitate. Moved here when we were 11. Came to the good old city of Garland, Texas. Was very thankful for the people and the friends that I met here. Started me in the right direction. Tried to. And the reason why I keep saying started into the right direction is because that's something that they were really trying to distill in my body and in my sight. But I fought it every single time. I never accepted it because I always wondered like why. Like why do I do that?
Do you mean like not do drugs, going to church? What does that mean? Like
the whole thing, hey, you're waking up in the morning, you're attacking what you need to attack, regardless if it's getting your homework done to get to class, take the sister, cousin, anywhere they need to go, right? Because now we're getting older to where we can be behind the wheel. Go to church in the morning, say your prayers, like do the whole hand at the round table before we eat our food, bless the food. I just kind of like cross your T's, dot your I's, right? Didn't really look at it that way. I was still a Christian. I don't ever want to say or stray away from saying I'm not a Christian. Big time belief in that. But I just always having questions like, hey, why? Like, why me? Why did this happen? Like, why are we not getting remarried? Like, all this conversation and stuff like that. Like, why is this happening to me? Right? Like, I'm thinking, hey, we're a little white kid. Like why is this doing this to me? Right? Because I don't know the world yet. Right. All I know is just what I was kind of in my upbringing. Like, okay, so why am I getting discriminated? And I'll say this till, the end. I'm so blessed to meet my neighbor, and his name was DJ. So blessed. Little African-American kid.
Shout out to DJ. What's up?
Shout out to DJ, man, for real. You are a real one. I love you, bro. Your family's amazing. You have a pretty baby girl, newborn. Shout out to you. But yeah, I can honestly say kind of in a way, he like really saved my life because just to kind of take a few steps back, just to kind of go down a little dark path.
Here we go. Brace yourself.
Hey, here we go. Sometimes you got to really open it, man, for the younger children. Kind of got welcomed to a really young age. Then we kind of were always like my best friend on the other side of town would always make his way on the bus to our side. He'd always have cigarettes, stuff like that. So got into smoking, thinking it was the cool thing to do. It's like, come on now, terrible idea. So got off of cigarettes really early, but stayed on weed. Like stayed on it very heavy. Started drinking at a young age for no reason. Didn't really fade into pills like heavy like that. Definitely experimented a little bit older than I got. But there's a reason why I don't do that. I kind of want to finish on this DJ story though. Started, I wouldn't say gangbanging, that is a bad term to use on what I was doing, but I was definitely in a gang neighborhood. A little ghetto over neighborhood as well. Just projects, stuff like that. So stuff was always happening. So I learned the hard way, like, hey, either you can kind of be soft and just get walked over, or you can put your foot down and like earn the respect, right? Because at that such a young age, and back then you had to earn it in the streets, quote unquote.
You have to, yep.
Because if not, word's going to get out, and you're going to kind of just get punked straight up, and there's no way around it.
Well, it's no different in like business.
100%.
Right, you got to prove yourself, and then boom.
And especially in our industry, we're both in sales. We know exactly how it is. Dog eat dog world.
Oh yeah.
If you don't come up to ready, put your best foot forward in terms, like somebody else is already hungry and ready, like
for sure.
I've been waiting for your downfall. And that's crazy. Like people prey on your downfall.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a wee little lad to almost turning 30 right now on sales, literally trying to fight with the young ones and the big ones. Like, I love it. But going back to DJ, man, like always going on the wrong crowd. And he kind of was in that crowd a little bit too, but you could tell like he was like an older head in a young body. So he saw the bigger picture.
Okay.
So but he followed his older brother's footsteps. So he was kind of doing what he was like grown up to do, kind of like I was in a weird way, but always had looked at the bigger picture and was like, I'm better than this. And that was something that I never thought. I was like, how do you see that? Like, we're here.
Yeah.
Like, bro, our family does not make money like this. Our income is like complete trash. Like, what do you see that I don't see? Like, there's still something into me that I need, right? Like, what water are you drinking? Like, I need to drink some of that. Because right now I'm blinded. I got my horse blinders on. It's just this. Okay, take my next best step forward. If something's in the way, knock them down, keep going.
Yeah.
Or either I get knocked down, dang, get back up, keep going. Like, there's only two ways. I knew.
Man, that's crazy. So you guys were both in a very bad area, bad neighborhood.
And side by side during the whole
But
process.
yet, like, he was thinking big picture. He was thinking differently than everyone around him.
I was thinking little picture, man. Eyes closed. He was thinking the big picture.
Why is that, though? If you guys were part of the same neighborhood, per se.
To be honest, I just don't ever thought we had that conversation until 2 years into our friendship. It was like, hey, his older brother was purely in that. There's no other question. That was live or died, face tats, neck tats, body tats, you know what I'm saying? Scars from, you know how it is. So he was like younger brother, like that. I'm comfortable with that, right? I got comfortable. And that's something that I harp on now, especially because with coaching little kids and just being an adult role model and always wanting to volunteer and get within my community. Do I harp on that? Like, you can't just close your eyes or like turn a blind eye to something like that. You really gotta grow up quicker than you think when you're in that circumstance, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And so some people really don't know that because they grow up on this side of the grass, right? To where it's like, dude, I could leave my house unlocked. Like when I went to Kentucky to live for 6 years, like, boy, neighbors coming over, hey, like, you know, if you guys ever need to come over, like, I got you, I can bake for you, this. I'm like, where I come from, let me tell you something. Someone knocks on your door, I'm not even open. Like, what's up? Who are you? What do you want? What do you need? Like, you opened it with so much, you would have given me a hug. Like if I was crying here. Like it's so crazy how your upbringing can really like dictate how you think or how you think the world like is gonna like come and like attack you almost.
Right.
But then again, like you change that perspective, I'm gonna go attack the world.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna sit back and let the world attack me? And that's what I was doing. So the whole time DJ's over here like, bro, like when I get my chance, I'm gonna go attack this. And I'm over here sitting here like, I'm so proud of you, but I really don't have like the cojones to get in your car right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sit over here on the park bench and just keep going. And then when you come back every summer, like, well, I'm saying, well, rendezvous.
Yeah.
Nah, not after about 2 years of him seeing me, because I started building a little, not like a whole like street cut where I was like head honcho, but white boy can bang. White boy can hold his ground, right? So now we start getting invited. We start getting a little bit higher ups in the
so
head
people were not messing with you. You're
not anymore,
just
because I was a bigger kid, like
240,
250 as like a 13, like big kid. I got photos.
Serious?
Yeah,
wow.
Big kid. Man, got like a jelly kind of body. But then like I was still soft, right? But then I owned it. I was like, yo, I'm big. I was like, I can manhandle you. Okay, so we learned how to throw some 1-2s.
Right.
Okay, so now my jab's not some like we got some pop to it. We rolling.
Boom.
And so I learned that the hard way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Got beat up a few times. Started beat. So now we grow the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Never really had the whole like I'm better than you vibe. Like what's up? I never had that on my shoulders, but I had a distilled confidence in me. It was like I'm always like do me, but you cross me, like I'm not letting you get the first. Like I'm gonna look at you, and when you give me like that non-verbal cue, like we're here, I'm gonna punch you first because I don't want to get hit. And I'm not gonna let you hit me first.
So with the homies, everything is cool.
Everything is cool.
But as soon as you cross me, it's on.
It's on. And then at that point, it wouldn't even be with an outsider. It could be like just with DJ, for example. Like it could have been anybody in that crew. Like, hey, we're all homies, but I know all y'all bang. So like I could say something and just get smacked. And like that's not gonna sit right with me. So I'm gonna smack you back.
You have to.
Yeah. Or like if we're smoking and you flick my blunt in my hand, I'm probably popping you, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, why you do that? Picking up and no, I'm like, because that's how it was that's how I was wired, right? Yeah. Or how I thought I was wired.
Yeah.
DJ ends up getting a scholarship to play football. at 17, 16, 16, started getting looked at and got that first like letter that came in the mail, like, hey, we really want you to come here, right? And I'm like, dang. You're about to like really, that's like, you really get your ticket.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was always playing baseball and I was always good at baseball the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, I can get a ticket. Like I'm now everything's starting to click, right? Starting to realize we're getting a little bit older. So we're starting to look at our bigger picture. It's crazy because now I'm here, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how I can see a little bit further now. I'm like, damn, like it's crazy how I just changed one little dial on the clock in my brain. Next thing you know, I'm over here looking just a little bit brighter, a little bit broader. So.
Do you think that happens with people that are very narrow-minded? As soon as somebody around them starts winning big or doing something that's not normal, they eventually see the bigger picture? But that's not always the case.
Not always the case. It's just, it's bad to say, but I truly believe at that age, I don't know what age you would say to where your brain really starts to like reevaluate like what's really going on. But I'm a true believer, you're a product of your environment. And at a young age, it's hard to like see out of that. Because like you don't know yet, right? Like you get growing up in, for example, boom, I get growing up in Garland, Texas. And I get a scholarship to go play baseball in Kentucky. Like, I don't know Kentucky. All I know is Kentucky is hay, horses, like.
Of course.
If I live in the city, like what's the Kentucky? I get to Kentucky, surely countryside.
I totally understand where we come from. I grew up in the ghetto, got involved in a lot of things early on. I didn't think I was going to live past 25. My goal was to do 25 years in prison, 25 to life, or get killed. That was like my goal.
No, yeah, 100%. Especially when you were in that product of your environment at the time, because you didn't know anything better.
I didn't think about family. I didn't think about business. Nothing at all.
100%. You know what's crazy is like when you're in that mode, like say like a little altercation, right? You don't think of anything but boom, right here. Yeah. It's like, so what happens? Maybe you boom, boom, you beat him up, falls weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't wake back up, or you beat him up severely to like he's going back to his mom. Yeah. It's like now that mom's like my child, like. Yeah. There's so much that goes on now that I think about personally. Now, of course, like I still have to like deal with my little anger sides here and there, whatever, yada, yada. I'll always stand on business. I'll always protect people I love, friends, family. But I'm not ever letting me, scratch that, rewind that. I'm never letting somebody else take control of my actions. Because at the end of the day, we get that one response. Because life's going to give BS, good stuff, you know what I'm saying? The whole nine. At the end of the day, and we've harped on this before already, you get one decision. It's how you respond to whatever gets put in front of you.
Oh, for sure.
And
hands down.
I will be damned if I let somebody else make my own decisions. That's not happening.
That's so good.
And I learned that the hard way as a young child, which makes me a lot prouder of a man now, especially growing up with no father. I'm going to be the best father ever to my kids, bro. The best father. Like it puts a chip on my shoulder. Not an overbearing father, like, hey, baby, you know, you're going to do your own things. You're going to learn the hard way. But just always know, I'm in your corner as Andre the Giant. Oof. Like, I'm here for you. And that's just something that I never had. And so I think that was a big, true reason why I'd always fight a lot of things. Yeah. And I went to therapy through high school, through college, like really try to break it down. Because I was like, why do I get so angry? There was always a switch. Yeah. And some switch was on. Boom. Like, it was like almost like a mousetrap, like the slightest breath. Switch. Boom. And we were ready. Oof. And I always had to take a step back, or not always take a step back at that given time, because once I had the blinders on, it was like a shark. I see red, I'm attacking. But I just think God would always speak to me in a weird way, and this is kind of before like I really gave my faith to Him, is I could always take that step back and reevaluate. It could be 30 minutes later, it could be 10, it could be an hour after, but I'd always give myself to reflect, which a lot of the times when I was younger, I wouldn't. I would just act like, fuck it, like I'm here, like, I'm sorry. Boom. Yep. What did I do wrong? You stepped on my toes, I'll step on yours. You're very reactive instead of responding to the situation. So now, like, I'm still getting reactive, but we're taking that step back now. Taking that step back. Why did we do that? Like, why did we let him, or what did he do to really let that trigger go by? So now I'm trying to break down my triggers. Yeah. Right? And so I was like, That's so good. I was like, okay. So then I read this book, and I really wish I knew. I definitely should have done the research to have this title name, because it's such a good book, and I'm going to find it and I'm going to give it to you. What's it about? So it's pretty much this guy, he comes from a terrible upbringing, right? Millionaire sales guy now, does motivational speaking, all this stuff, yada, yada. And it's pretty much like his whole like story of like, so like the whole long story short, just to sum everything up, he was like, I truly learned how to become a monster. And then I learned how to control it. And I was like, damn, that's because he was dealing with so much shit. And so he became like, I'm the monster. Like, so he tried to hold his ground. Like, I'm King Kong. No one's going to come talk. I'm an absolute monster. Whew. So, so people feared him. Yeah. But he was like, I don't want to be feared no more. I want to be respected. So I learned how to become a monster then learn how to control it. So now everybody absolutely respects him for the person he is, but everybody knows like that dude could protect, like say like it's you, right? You controlled your monster. I know you in my corner, so it's like I'm cool, man.
You're good. You're
I'm
good.
Don't worry about it.
And that's what I tell
but no one would know.
Nobody would know. One thing that I tell my oldest all the time, I say, remember these 3 things. You got to be friendly.
100%.
Always be friendly with people.
You have to.
You know, engage with people. People are always having bad days. Right now, people are on their phones. They're just like to themselves. Smile, right? Always be friendly. Connect with people. Shake a hand.
Smile goes a long way.
But also, you have to be firm. When they cross you, you got to make sure you set the expectations. You got to make sure that, hey, you could do this, but if you do that, then we're going to have a conversation. Set the expectations with people, right? Let them know that you got some pit bull in you, right? Third thing is, you have to be fair.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Because
I love how you say that.
If they cross you, right, how do you respond? Well, you're not going to react. You're going to respond. And like you said, maybe you're going to take some time to not say nothing. Take a step back.
Like observe it.
Take a breather and then analyze, okay, what's exactly going on? Okay, maybe they're upset because of traffic or because, you know, this person's probably going through a bad time, bad day. Maybe they just ended a relationship. You don't know, right?
Yeah.
So the way that they responded to you, it's not obviously how you want them to interact with you. However, you get to decide how you respond to the individual, but also don't do it in such a way where you're going to mess up your character and your reputation. So be friendly, firm, but also fair.
Bro, I'm so glad you said that because I was watching this video on Instagram Reels. Come on now, I'm kind of coming to the millennials court for a little bit, and so I'm scrolling.
Yeah.
Of course, like my Reels is all about gym, motivation, books, stuff like that. Teddy Swims comes on, right? Up and coming artist, came out of a foreign country. I can't remember. I think it was like London, British, something like that. Was singing on the streets. Beautiful voice, made himself known. Now he's doing podcast talking because he came from a terrible upbringing, right? Kind of like, I wouldn't say gangbang, but like definitely was in like the drug atmosphere and whatnot. And he said something along the lines, now don't quote me exactly on this, but it's in this terminology of, it's like, the way people talk about you is how they look at you, right? But the way you allow somebody to talk about you is how you look at yourself.
Oof. That is so good. Whew. Can you repeat that one more time? Because that was,
gives me goosebumps,
people are gonna have to like stop and write this down. That's how deep this is.
Because this is like you looking at you as an inner self, like the way people, like just not even look at you, the way people talk about you, the way they look at you, that's their self-reflection on how they think of you, truly. But the way you allow others to speak about you, look at you, that's the reflection of how you think on yourself. So like, for example, just to kind of explain it a little bit better, because I know you could think about that for a while and really big.
So it's a good nugget.
But like, say you're kind of like talking bad about me, or good, it doesn't matter, right? We'll just go with bad. I could sit here and be like, dang, he's calling me a loser, like I'm nobody. Like, he doesn't know my story. You just know what you saw, right? But if I let that win, like, okay, like I have no self-respect for myself. I have no drive. But you could be talking all that, and I could just be like, brother, you don't know me. I could turn around, go make a play right there.
Yeah.
Call, close the prospect. It's just like, you can't let other people's anything, reactions, speak. Just, you can't let them control what you want to control.
So good.
So if you're allowing other people to dictate how you look at yourself, are you really in self-control? Like, do you really have a grasp on what you want to do? Like, do I, Riley Wentz, really grasp what Riley does on a daily basis? No, because I'm allowing what anybody says, you, like A, B, C, D, E, I'm allowing them to dictate me. So that's a true self-reflection on how I look at myself.
That's
and when I really broke that down, bro, because I read that when, and I read this like recently, man, like four months ago. And I thought I had a good head on my shoulders now. I broke that down to myself. I'm sitting there, like I'm outside. I'm sitting there, you know, with coffee, just kind of listening to music, not even listening to the music. And I was like, dang. I was like, I'm really good at holding down business, like 10 toes down on how I like to live my life. But I do let some stuff creep in. Like I have cracks. Like I'm not sealed. I'm not perfect. I got imperfections, and some of my cracks aren't sealed up all the way. So some stuff kind of leaks in. I'm like, hey, why are we letting that leak in? Let's fix this. Like, let's really fix it. It's not like duct tape. All right, cool. No. Let's break that crack open a little bit more. And why is it really there? And let's really get those cracks filled in the right way, right? So that was just a quote that really sticks with me, like really hard.
That is so good.
Like hard.
That is so good. And recently I watched a YouTube short. It was actually a podcast. Patrick Bet-David, shout out to Patrick Bet-David. He had, I think, a Secret Service agent on his podcast recently that talked about different presidents that he worked under. One of them was I think Trump, a little bit, Bill Clinton, and Obama. And he said even though Bill Clinton was a nice guy, when Barack Obama would walk in a room, he would just command the room, right? Kind of like set the standard.
That aura was just like
and just
the presence.
Dominate. And one thing that I realized that it really matters how you communicate, how you talk, how you walk, sometimes even how you dress. Not all the time.
But in certain occasions,
it could play a part.
Read the room.
You got to read the room, right?
Read the room.
Also, I noticed that there's different personalities. People that they want the attention, right? So they're really loud. Then you have the other ones that are just, to themselves, really quiet.
And you kind of have that third too, where they portray their own, like almost like a fictional character of you. Like, oh, that's what I think of him. It's like, okay, I didn't know I had 3 personalities, but hell yeah, let's go. Right? Like that's a thing.
Absolutely. And one thing I've learned for myself is you got to read the room.
100%.
Who's in the room? What am I there to do? I'm going to connect with somebody. For me, I could be really loud, a little extra, right, when I'm excited.
Little stand back.
Or I could just shut up.
100%.
Because I'm like, you know what? I know who's in the room. Or that dude's quiet. Why is he quiet?
Like what's really...
And usually the quiet ones are the ones that I'm like looking at. And I'm like, I need to connect with that person because I don't know.
100%.
And then last time that happened, I was there with my buddy, Bryce McKinley. Shout out to Bryce McKinley. I was in San Diego. And
beautiful city, by the way.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
City.
I connected with the gentleman. And after going back and forth, I'm like, hey, what do you do? And he was telling me, right? I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then I met his wife. Hey, what's going on? And great people. Humble people, too. To themselves, very quiet. Wife serving them food. And apparently this guy has coached many athletes, including Neil Armstrong.
Okay.
Yeah, his personal coach.
Okay.
And coached, again, just a bunch of Olympic gold medalists. This guy's a beast.
It's a good resume.
I didn't know he was a beast. I don't know nothing about that.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
but
he controlled his monster.
He controlled his monster.
And I'm not saying, for people out there, when I say monster, I know we kind of faded off with that with an anger issue. Does not necessarily mean monster as an angry person.
Yeah.
You could be a monster and I mean, countless of things.
Yeah.
You control that monster. Literally what you're saying. He controlled it.
By monster, you mean like the power, the strength,
it could be the pure anger, the passion of just, you have such a high drive of passion behind something, you can put the blinders right back on and just fully attack, and it's like, brother, you like hurting other people.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything that's violent.
Yeah.
But you're hurting more people than if I was doing was violent.
Yeah.
Monstrous. Right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like it could be passion, fuel, this. You control that aspect of the brain, body, however you like to persuade it. You control that focal point.
Yeah.
Brother, endless opportunities, because now you're choosing, kind of coming back to the quote, you're choosing to not let others control how you control yourself. So now I can fully be like, no, I'm good. Say whatever you want to say. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to put my best foot forward every single time.
And for you guys that want a visual, close your eyes right now. Not you, but people that are watching. And just picture you holding a remote control. And now you give it to the person that's offending you. And you're pretty much allowing them to change your channel, turn the volume up, down, to mute you. Essentially, when you have no self-control, that's exactly what you're doing. You're giving the right of way to other people.
And what's crazy, they could even change the input and take it to a whole nother screen. They're going to totally like cut this eyeball out, put them in the back of your head, and now you're looking in reverse the whole way. Just, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be a cliche little metaphor, but there's a reason why the rear view mirror is the smallest mirror in your car. Why are you looking back for?
Yeah.
You can look back real quick, but you should never stare. You stare, you're going to rear in what's in front of you. Let me tell you something. What you're going to run into that's in front of you is going to be way bigger and better than what you're going to run into.
100%. 100%.
There's a reason why that thing is the tiniest thing in the car.
Oh, man, so good. And I love the fact that you said you're self-reflecting. I know for myself, I do that often, especially when I'm driving home. Last time, actually, about a week ago, I was telling my wife that I was driving to work, I was in Joe Rogan's podcast. She's like, wait, what do you, what, hold on,
JRE.
what do you mean? Like, I don't desire to, you know, be on his show, but it's kind of crazy because I was like, if I was in his show and he was interviewing me, I'm like, oh snap, I just picture myself being interviewed and him asking me questions. Then I'm going back and forth with them and just kind of having that visual, but I'm reflecting on like how to just have good conversations, crucial conversations with people, and diving deep into Joe's story, his branding, why he does what he does, and just kind of breaking that down, right? But I was just reflecting for a little bit, right? Just kind of analyzing where I was, and then it went somewhere else. I'm like, oh snap! But I took the time to not listen to music, to podcasts, nothing. I was just pumping the brakes. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to listen to nothing right now. I need to reflect.
That was your choice.
Of course.
You could have chose, you know what I'm saying, turn on the rap, whatever country, just jam out and be like, listen to whatever they want to feed you on the station. But you chose to wake up and like, hey, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And which you probably didn't even know at the time. You doing that sets you up to accomplish this, which sets you up to accomplish this. And now you're at the end of the day and you accomplish so many little things that add up to just a big old W.
Oh.
But you don't look at it like that. When you wake up, it's like, hey, what's the first decision I'm gonna make? I don't know, probably go to the restroom, wake up.
People scroll through.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the first thing I do when I wake up, and I kid you not, the first thing I do when I wake up, I get out of bed, look at my puppy, hey, good morning, yada yada. I make my bed. It's so cliche, but here's the thing: within the first minute of me being awake, I've already accomplished something. I'm not saying you got to go out there and run a marathon right when you wake up. That's a huge accomplishment. You do that, all kudos to you. But set you little goals that keep you making you want to keep going to the next goal, because that keeps you motivated for that big individual end game goal. So I'm waking up and I'm like, I'm choosing to accomplish something.
Boom.
Win. Made the bed. All right. Let's go brush our teeth real quick right after. Not winning. You know what I'm saying? Not even touch the shower yet. Let's go brush our teeth. Right? I got the Invisalign in. Take it out. Boom. Brush your teeth.
Boom.
2 wins. Right?
2 wins.
Now I can choose to walk the dog now, give her time, or I can choose to shower, get dressed. You got to pee real quick. We got to go back up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's choose the right path. Let's put the best foot forward. Ray, I got you. You are my child until I have an actual child. We're going to go on a walk. Right? That's the third dub, because I chose the right way, right?
Wow, you're stacking them up.
Brother, before it's even 20 minutes in the day, I haven't even been awake for 20 minutes. I got 3 dubs. I could call 20 people, probably still in bed. Sheets on the ground, pillows on the ground. They probably left some at the house. They're going to work. You don't have a win yet. You're 2 hours in the day. Where's your win? I got 6. I plan to hit 20 wins, bro. So after work over here, like, man, this sucked. I could have had the worst day in the world. Bro, that taught me about what, 13 wins?
I love that attitude.
I'm cool.
I love that attitude.
Because I choose not to let that one loss affect the more wins that I have to overcome.
Wow.
Like the day's not over.
I love that.
We leave work at 4, shoot, we got till 6, till 10. I'm probably going to bed around like 10, 10:30.
Yeah.
I have so much time to accomplish whatever I want.
Whew.
Now I'm going to make the decision. Do I let this bad day dictate, do I go to the gym or not? Heck no. Bad day, I'm about to squash you in the gym. That's the way I rewired. Now I'm not thinking about when I'm a kid. We're like, oh, violence, this, let's be bad and cool. I can beat you up. No. That's childish play. It's
different.
You think that's cool to beat somebody up? That's child.
Yeah.
That's what children think.
Yeah.
Grown men don't think that. Now I'm harming somebody else's family. That's not how we should act. Because at the end of the day, this world is very corrupt with one against another, I feel like.
Oh, big time.
The moment we can start doing unity, because think about this, and I'm going to bring it back to the Black Lives Matter thing. We all unified together for violence.
For violence, yeah.
And I'm not saying people were wrong for doing, like, you had your reasons, cool, like, I'm not going to step on anybody's toes. But we unified from violence. And you see what we did? Imagine if we unified and put that same power towards something good.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's just like as simple as cleaning up an environment.
Yeah.
Or not letting the government control a lot of the stuff they want to control. There is more of us as individual Americans than there are of anybody in that higher up party.
All right, for sure.
And imagine if we all came together as well.
Oh, it's so powerful. And then even with the Black Lives Matter, I understood where they were coming from.
100%.
I'm like, I get it. Like, but then I understood with Police Lives Matter. I'm like, I totally get that too. Wait, what about us Latinos? You guys matter too. So there was a lot happening, but going back to what you said, there was so much division. There was the people that were writing for the right things in a sense. Kind of
the wrong. It's like a fine.
It's like a wrong, and then it's like there's other people that were like trying to do it for at least protesting, different protests and writing. People were writing, right, being reacting, and then people that are doing it the right way were responding. They're like, hey, we need to, stand up for
100%.
injustice.
But what's crazy, like the people that were kind of like protesting but got a little like overboard,
Yeah.
they were opening the door for the people that had no correlation. Like some of these people didn't even care what was going on.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, free time to be violent? I'm gonna go throw a brick through a window.
And that's what's
So like people don't think of it. It's like, hey, yes, I understand why you're protesting, and I support that.
Yeah.
The way a lot of situations with y'all's ethnicity has been treated, it's very poorly.
Yeah.
Now we can go educate a little bit more on the police side, but like, you know what I'm saying? There's that fine line that I don't like to literally cross because I have respect on both parties. I got friends on both parties.
Right.
But we were just opening the doors for so much more stuff that weren't even. And you had people that didn't. I could have cared less who was president. I care less who dies.
Yeah.
I just like to be violent. Now you're giving me a free choice to throw
100%.
bricks through people's stores, ruin people's like. So many like homeowners, like local store owners, people who like literally grinded from the dirt up to start this.
Oh yeah.
And we're just ruining it for no reason.
Oh,
and I'm not even part of the protest. I just see people. I was like, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. It was a very sensitive time because if you said, "Well, I'm for police lives matter," then you're lucky you're in that camp.
You're in that pool right there. No
lives
question.
matter. What if you're a person like myself, where I'm like, I care about all people.
We're in that web where the small circle collides. We're in that small.
I care about the black lives, brown lives, white lives, and then I care about the police lives. Like I care about everybody. And the fact that there's violence happening, obviously, I don't like that. The fact that that incident happened with the police officer, I mean, it's nothing new per se, right?
100%.
Now they have cameras, now they could record it. But in the same way, we should stand up for righteousness, where a lot of people, because maybe they're in a camp where they believe the same thing they believe, they allow certain things to happen.
100%.
Right? Either
it's easy to allow that to come in.
It's so easy. And that's what I found too. At the time, I had a really down-to-earth business partner who was black. And then he said, hey, man, Black Lives Matter. He started kind of telling me about the whole situation. And I sat down with them. I'm like, bro, let's process. Let's talk about this together. Right? And then we started going over the organization as Black Lives Matter. Okay, so they're getting funding from where? Okay, cool. What are they doing with the money? And after we talked for a little bit, he's like, you know what? He still cares for black lives as a black person, but he's like, you know what? Yeah, I think the organization is corrupted.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, got it. I think we're in the same camp, right?
100%.
So, and I'm not just gonna knock Black Lives Matter.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna talk about the NRA as well. So, in the Second Amendment world, a lot of people think about the NRA as this biggest Second Amendment advocate, but they actually done a lot of damage to the Second Amendment. Started with Ronald Reagan, getting advice from them and passing certain rulings, and they continue to do that. In the courts, you'll see Gun Owners of America in the courts, but NRA, you'll see them there in the billboards and mention, but the organizations that are the Second Amendment advocates, they're the ones in courts not getting any type of lights.
100%.
It's kind of interesting to me.
No, really.
The NRA
you could break
corrupt.
that down to a whole.
Oh, bro. Oh, 100%.
That could be like a whole nother podcast for the whole episode.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's a rabbit hole that sometimes you really don't even want to jump down just because you're like, dude, I might not be able to jump out of it. We're going so deep.
But I like to go deep and have conversations with both sides.
You have to.
Without getting emotional. Without getting emotional. It's like if I say I don't really believe this, or I do, but this is why, right? We need to be able to process issues, sensitive issues, without getting emotional.
And being a little bit more open-minded too. Because I can have my beliefs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I can't just be like my belief or the highway. Like it's my belief, your belief is the wrong way. It's like, no. There's a reason why there's multiple religions. There's just multiple of everything, right?
Yeah.
So I used to like really be like, oh, you're not Christian, like, whatever, right? Like when I started getting into my Christianity.
Yeah.
Now I have such a passion where I want to travel to every other like country that has a different religion. I want to like understand why you believe in that. Like I want to learn that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the reason why you believe this? I'm not just like, oh yeah, bro, it's my God. Like it's your. No. I'm gonna believe my God till the day I die.
100%.
But I really want to understand what you believe in and why you believe in it. With all due respect.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and with an open mind, open ears, and I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't interrupt you. I won't step on your toes. I will be an open heart for you to pour it out, and I want you to fill my glass up.
100%.
I'll drink your water. I'm 100%. I respect it. But just I need you to respect me on the same time that I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
Like don't take my respect or like as a sign of weakness or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like I will stand on this all day.
I love that.
I'll overpower you with it. I have full belief in that, right? That's
so cool.
That's the belief I have in my own like, God and shit, right?
Yeah, that's strong in your faith.
But as long as you don't treat me and take that for granted or weakness, brother, we're all human beings at the end of the day, and I'll welcome you with open arms, and I would love for you to talk my ears off.
That's crazy, because what you're saying right now, I'm just thinking about the epistles, the New Testament. You never saw the apostles debate and winning over souls through debates.
No.
You saw them feeding the multitude. You saw them take care of the orphans, the widows.
And they would come together as one
and
go
and take care of people. And from that, it's like, man, like, there's so much peace and joy, and you guys are just serving, and they're preaching the word, and people were just saved.
There's a reason why I love
the
story
of the Holy
Judas.
Spirit. Yeah, 100%.
Bro, like, for you to, like, not only just be a disciple of God, of Christ,
yeah,
but you were like the co-captain, like you were like the lead general almost, right? Like you were number one.
He was in charge of the money.
Like you was him, right?
Yeah.
For you to betray Jesus was such, I mean, just such a straw, just like pure blind eye, like, right?
Yeah.
Wipe away. For him to literally turn around and grasp him, quote unquote in the Bible, grasp him and embrace him, kiss him on the head, while they both teary-eyed.
Yeah.
And then he's going to literally a week later go down the cross. And you know what's crazy? This man could have been like, because he doesn't know him, like, truly, like, what he's going to do, right?
Yeah.
He could be like, oh, he's dead. I'm good, right? The man literally the time he died, just broke down. Yeah. Like, he realized the mistake he did.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, when he was resurrected, he still forgave him.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like,
and the craziest part, I think, is why would you give somebody the ability to manage the money, right, if you knew he was going to backstab you? That's what's interesting.
It's interesting
because Jesus also knew.
Oh, I love
right?
it.
Right? But he still chose to, like, you know what? I'm going to make him in charge.
Because I think that was his way of getting him to this point. Because if he wouldn't have done that, he might not get to this point to where he does break down on his knees and cry and be like, you are my God. I want you back in my life, right? Because you got to think, that's one domino. And it's like the first thing that you said.
That's deep.
When you think about this direction right here, you don't think about 2, 3, 4, 5. You think about 1. So he's like, oh, I got this money. I'm gone.
Yeah.
God wasn't thinking that. God was like, brother, I know you're going to do this to me. I'm still going to have you hold my gold, right? Because I need you to do all this flawless stuff so you can get here. Because if you don't do this, I might not see you here.
Wow.
I might see you way down here.
That's
it
crazy.
might be too late.
Yeah.
So he was like, brother, I know what you're going to do.
That's
and he even told him. He's like, brother, you're going to do this to me. And he was like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
He was like, brother, you're going to do this to me. And I'm still going to forgive you and bring you back in my angel. Like, you're still going to come back and be a general in my army.
It seems like we're playing checkers while God is playing chess all the time.
Brother, and we're pawns.
If you guys are feeling that story, hit an A, man. You guys are watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. It doesn't matter. Just hit a name somewhere. Send somebody a message, say amen or something.
Dude,
do something. But
send somebody and I love you. Say an amen, man. Just reach out to somebody else.
When is the last time, I'm talking to you, the audience, when is the last time that you loved your hater?
Ooh.
When's the last time you turned the other cheek? When is the last time that you had a sensitive conversation with someone, right? Where there's a conflict involved, whether that's maybe somebody that believes something different than you. When's the last time you had that type of conversation? I'm asking my audience.
No, 100%. And can I harp on that just a little bit more?
100%.
Not only when's the last time you've done that, when's just the last time in general? Because maybe you don't have that, right? Maybe you haven't gotten that situation. Because we all have enemies, but sometimes people don't think of it like that, right? They turn the blind eye, kind of what we opened with. How many times, or just have you ever done this, and when's the last time you guys done this? Just go up to a random stranger. That dude's sitting there on the park just by himself. Like, he could be going through something. When's the last time you just reached out an open hand? Just be like, hey, are you okay?
Oh.
Or just be like, hey, like, how are you doing? I'm Riley. Like, I just trying to see you can walk. Like, would you like to have a 2-minute conversation? I would love to talk to you for 2 minutes. And you'd be so surprised that 2 minutes, and me and him can contest to this, that 2 minutes is going to turn to a 30-minute conversation. You might swap each other's numbers and have a friend for the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure.
Or you might have been the reason why this guy came to this bench for a week straight. And he's literally like, bro, if no one talks to me today, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
You reached out that hand, brother. That is a guardian angel sent by God, and I'll stand by that because he thinks he is in the Satan's lair sitting there that no one loves me, right? Probably fighting with Christ, the whole 9 with the emotions.
Ah, so good.
I'm over here walking like, damn. And to me, like, I could just be like, oh, that's just my thought process. Brother, no, that's God literally coming to me and be like, reach out your hand to him. And I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
And I could tell you stories of where I've had, like, I can't say encounters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little too drastic, but like,
Yeah.
you can feel something, man.
You know
and
it.
there's a reason why when I was struggling in my younger years in college, was a lot of stuff. Broken up with a girlfriend, kind of back into smoking pot a little bit. I'll keep it wide open. Overdosed on bars, had my stomach pumped twice. Reason why I don't do pills, that exact reason, right? Eye-opening experience. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm struggling. And I was like, I need to go to church.
Oof.
And I'm telling you, I'm going to church in every sermon from week 1 to week 5. And I was dealing with something different every week. The sermon was literally what I dealt with the whole prior Monday through Saturday. I come on Sunday, God's like, I got you.
Dang.
He's like, if you can make it to Saturday and you can make it into my church doors every Sunday, I got you.
Oof.
And brother, let me tell you something. I don't cry. I don't do any of that. I'm very hard-spoken. You could ask my family members, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Brother, I'd walk out of that freaking sermon crying in tears.
Ooh.
Broken down.
Yeah.
Like, literally, bro, just take me for a second. Like, literally, when carry on with Jesus, take the wheel. Like, brother, control my vehicle right now.
Yeah.
Guide me. Because right now,
I love that.
I'm on a broken path. I'm on a rocky path.
Man.
I would love to go on your paved path, brother. Like, part my Red Seas, brother, because all I see is the ocean. And let me tell you something, I'm tired of swimming.
So good.
And when you talk to him, brother, he answers. You just don't know how. God works in mysterious ways.
And, you challenge our viewers to get out of their way to connect with a stranger and just have a conversation that you might connect with someone that needs a message, that needs you to talk to them about God. But also, it seems like God wants to use you, the viewer, to connect with people so you could be strengthening your faith as well.
Oh, 100%. It makes you grow as just a person in a whole. And going back to another quote, full of quotes, man, it's just something that kind of drives me going forward. Especially when I was in my dark place, I thought I was like just in the dirt. Like I'm buried 6 feet deep. What am I doing, right?
Yeah.
Reading another book again. And I'm so thankful I started picking up books. It opened my eyes. It gave me my stress back. Not like stress back, but like, you know what I'm saying, de-stressing my body, just reading a book and letting it take away. Quote came across, and I have this on like a picture frame. Like I found a whole artwork with this. Like I have this distilled in my brain, my household. Anybody comes in here, I like to always be like, hey, check that out real quick. Especially if you're having a bad day and you talk to me about it, I'm definitely pointing at this. It says, when you feel like you're buried, you truly been planted. So when you feel like I'm rock bottom, like, right, you got to think, go back just a tree or a seedling. Trees, they grow, they fall apart, whatever. When the next seed gets planted, it comes from the same tree, right? So is it supposed to grow the same good trunk, nice, firm, small branches? No, brother. You're gonna grow something different, right? So when you feel like you've been buried, like rock bottom, you change that perspective to say, I just got planted in the soil. I'm gonna let all these new opportunities, new people sprinkle me with water.
So good.
I'm gonna change the way I look a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, watch how I grow.
Wow.
So it's all about perspective. It comes back to how you choose to respond. Yes, we're rock bottom, we're struggling, right? Yeah. But if I keep thinking I'm buried, I'm gonna stay buried. I'm gonna stay buried, and people are gonna start. I made a little tamp, really harden up the clay, like for a pitching mouse, stuff like that. I'm gonna stay buried, and I'm gonna get cemented over. Because I've been there for so long, right? Yeah. Because as we know, like the world as we know it, land starts popping up everywhere, right? Beautiful soil, concrete. If I choose to stay there, I'm gonna have a building growing over me. Big time. And once that building's there, I don't know how I'm gonna do that building.
That's so good.
But if I choose to get planted. But I grew up as a tree, and guess what that tree has? Branches. Yeah. Unlimited. Yeah. A tree is never capped at how many branches it can grow. It could be thousands of years age. I'm gonna grow another branch.
Oh, that's so good.
Another opportunity. I'm gonna go this way.
That's so good. In this Proverbs, it says that the godly develop strong roots. Reminds me of what you were talking about. But also in Peter, I read that we need to rejoice when we're going through many trials. It's like rejoicing. Why are we going to rejoice? It reminds me of, my good friend / mentor / father in the faith. He did 14 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And he was making I think it's like $1 million a year, something like that at that time, which was like 30 years ago. Yeah. Right? I didn't know why. So right now, probably like a couple mil a month. But I remember like when he was telling me a story about being in prison for a very long time, he didn't really quite understand why God had him there. Like he didn't believe in God, nothing, other than money. He had nothing else going on spiritually. He got arrested. Obviously, his dad committed the murder. Didn't know that at the time. But he was wrestling with God, and finally he's like, okay, God, if you have me here, I'm yours. From there, became a pastor, started becoming this Billy Graham in prison.
See,
He developed like a bunch of like rules for Christian inmates. So obviously you know a little bit about the California prison system. Maybe some of our viewers don't, but in California, you got to hang out with the norteños, northerners, southsiders, southerners. We got the paisas, people that like are from Mexico. You got the blacks, you got the whites, and there's certain rules. Like if you are hanging around with the whites and then the blacks do something, it's game time. If you're there, it's game time. You got to stab.
You can just be on the opposite side of the hood. Same ethnicity. It's not this. You're not one.
You gotta go and then fight, or there's certain people in your cell you gotta check them. There's a lot of rules within prison.
The whole earn the respect.
There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm not like an expert. I'm gonna have Adam next time I go to San Diego to my podcast to tell you more about it. But he was able to develop this connection with the shot callers of prison, where if they wanted to stab somebody or kill somebody, they will ask them, hey, it seems like that person is trying to go to your church. Are they about it or not?
And that's kind of how DJ's older brother ended up kind of stepping into that role of so that's why I say, like, there's a lot more. And just I just want to like kind of throw this out there to like, you never can really truly judge a book by its cover. Because if you like the viewers out there, if you're looking at us, right, we're two completely different people, right? Mexican, white, both in sales, killing it in what we're doing, right? Came from almost like the dang near the same background.
Yeah.
But you would never guess that.
Oh no.
Never guess that. No. And I'm not saying like the exact same, but like if it was like a whole circle of like that junk kind of, we dealt with the same issues.
Oh, for sure.
But you can't, that's why I don't know. Like I turned an eye, like I want to say like maybe 16, 17.
Yeah.
To where like the whole like all of that hump.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you can't be thinking like that.
That's crazy because I tell people my story and they're like, no, I can't put that. I can't see
why
you there.
I don't like to tell my story like that.
And for me, because they see me as this friendly guy, business oriented, closing these big deals, and I'm like, yeah, they should be me. And they're like, I can't see
like
that.
When you showed me that picture, I was like, but of course we had talks before that. So then I was like, okay, that makes sense. But like, if you'd have just led with that, I'd be like, that's not you.
Yeah, that's not you.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's also a reason why I don't personally like talking about the past of like just like my flaws. Yeah. Because I've worked so hard to get where I'm at now. No one would ever think, like when I tell people that, sometimes they're like, oh, you are a hippie. You got like the cuffed up jeans, rocking tie-dye, nose piercing, always smiling, talking. Yeah. I learned to become a monster, and I chose to control it. Yeah, yeah. And I'm choosing not to show you my monster. And I refuse to. Yeah. Unless you are my friend and you need it to come out, or you're my family and I'm protecting them.
100%.
You're going to see the nicest, happiest Caucasian male with a big old smile on his face right here. Yeah. Every single time.
I'm the same way. I never verbalize, if you do this, I'm going to react this way, or I'm going to shoot you, or I'm going to do... Like, I don't verbalize those things just because I feel like you're really trying to bump up your chest and trying to make yourself known as this macho dude.
You never know how they're going to retaliate to
you. And one thing I learned in the hood, killers move in silence.
They're not going to tell you what they're doing. You're going to be ordering a street talk at the venue. Next thing you know, boom, brother, your lights are out.
Yeah, just like that.
You know what he did? He just kept walking.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like it when people just are trying to be hardcore on the internet. Especially when there's nobody else on the other side.
The loud ones, brother, I listen. Hey, you got some good tone over there, man. Yeah. Hey, how's the sound? You hear yourself? Let me tell you, I do not care. Now that guy over there sitting in the quiet just looking at us both, he scares me more than you, and I don't even know him, but he just won't stop looking at us. So, like, I'm probably a little bit more scared than him. That's all I'm saying. Like,
and I feel the same way, like, in business. If, you know, again, I could be a little extra, and I could, like, go in a room and be like, hey, what's going on, everybody? Because that's part of my personality. You know that, right?
Bright.
I'm not trying to, like,
you're opening. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm like, what's up, everybody? I just love having fun, love connecting with people. But I don't do it to grab attention. Maybe some people think I want attention. I don't. It's come very natural for me.
That's
like,
the way they look at you when you're not allowing them to do
that. Right. So for me, I just learned to take a few steps back, you know, read the room, and then, you know, maybe be a little bit loud here and there, but not be extra all the time. Cool. But one thing I realized with, not everybody, but people in rooms that are often like wanting to control the room and dominate the room, sometimes when they're really loud, they're really insecure. And they're really asking for that attention. They want that attention because they're not confident in themselves.
You know what's crazy? They don't even know they're doing it.
Exactly. Now going back to, I would say my good friend Jeff, quiet guy, down to earth. At the end of us being there for 2 days, I gave him one of the biggest compliments. They were even like taken back. I just told him, hey, by the way, I know you guys are very successful. You guys done a lot of great things, but didn't know much about you prior to like connecting with y'all. But one thing I admire about you guys is your marriage.
Ooh.
And they're like, wait, what? Like
something that doesn't never get looked upon or talked about.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
they were like, what? Like, whoa.
Whoa.
Like, I just love that. You guys are like, 60 going on 70. High performers to the highest level. But I didn't know much about them prior to like meeting them. But I was like, I see how you guys interact with each other, how you guys love each other. And I'm just taking notes because I never seen that growing up. And I never seen older couples be so affectionate to one another. Just letting like, you bless me.
100%.
So anyways,
100%.
That's what I wanted to say about that.
No, I love that. I mean, actually, I would love to read a quote from my phone and my photos if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
I would love it. I wish I knew it by heart. It's one of those things where I kind of like, I was scrolling through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do that when I get bored. Definitely got to get better at doing that. But I came across this scripture and I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
I was like, I always talk about faith and like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say walk by faith, not by sight.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I can't see it. And I read this and I was like, hold on. So I'm going to just read this. It says,
bless us right now.
It says, but there are some things that you cannot be sure of. You must take a chance. If you wait for perfect weather, you will never plant your seeds. If you are afraid that every cloud will bring rain, you will never harvest your crops. You don't know where the wind blows, and you don't know how a baby grows in its mother's womb. In the same way, you don't know what God will do and how he'll make everything happen in your life.
That's so good. So powerful.
Like, bro, like, it's just sometimes it's crazy you put the horse blinders on without even just naturally doing it. You're just like, man, I got to get this done today.
Boom.
But there's so much other stuff happening here. Like, bro, he's trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
They're trying to talk to you. Like, and you're not allowing it, right?
So good.
And so I was reading that and I was like, man, like, I don't know how a baby grows in the womb. Like, I know kind of how, but like, I don't know every step. I don't really know what's going on in there. Like, I'm just always chilling in the rain. Like, my crops right everywhere. I'm like, and he put that in perspective to where I can really look at it now, right? Because not every time you read scripture, you're like, what's he talking about? Like, that's crazy. But then I was reading that and I was like, hold on. He kind of dumbified it for me in the scripture. I was like, I'm talking about my faith, but I'm not walking from what I'm talking on my faith. As you guys would know it as walk the walk, talk the talk kind of vibe.
Of course.
I'm talking, but I'm not walking. So I'm all talk. I'm all bark, no bite.
Oof.
Right? If you got to go to that terminology where people know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm taking a step back, self-reflecting. I'm like, why am I allowing the devil to kind of win? Because that's a dub for him. Why am I allowing that? I'm over here preaching about faith, yada yada, but I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna go preach to other people what they should do to get better with their faith. But then I'm gonna turn around and I'm like, I'm gonna ignore everything I said. So like, what am I really doing?
Yeah.
I can't even answer that. Like, I don't know what I'm doing because I can preach to everybody else on what they're doing wrong, but I can't accept the fact that I'm doing the same things.
That's so crazy.
But I don't see that.
And then, when you have kids, obviously you don't have kids, right?
Yeah.
But when you have kids, it's kind of crazy because everything changes when you're single, when you're dating, when you get married, and then when you have kids, multiple kids. There's a lot of changes.
I got the uncle and these five. It's not the same.
It's a little different, but
But it's like half. It's like a quarter, right? So I wouldn't even say a quarter. If I had to say, I would say like 20%, right? Because now, like, if something happens, like, and their parents can't go, like, I got to be able to drop and go, right? I know that's not my full responsibility. That's why I'm not even saying close to 100%. I might even drop down to 10.
The mom's watching like, heck no.
Yeah.
They're probably getting all nasty in the comment section.
I come from a single mom.
No, you don't know nothing.
Y'all are rock stars. But I'm just saying, like, that's the closest thing I have to that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I feel like a micro point of it.
Totally get it.
I'm like, oh, I wonder how that would like really make me feel if that was mine.
It changes.
So it makes me think like, oh, you're my niece, but imagine if you were actually mine. And I think of it like, say they like, hey, go take the niece to the park. Ooh, when it's just you and me, you're mine. Like, you're mine, right? But you're not really mine. But if anything happens, I'm there. You're there. So I can only imagine really having a kid and them not having a good day. Like, they're coming at you for a bad day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, this happened. Oh, damn, like, I got to lock it in. Like, what I say right here could literally alter how you think of this situation going forward. And so sometimes I feel like we got to take that step back and really understand, like, hey, the next thing that comes out of your mouth might be literally distilled in their brain on how to act or react to this situation. for God knows how long.
I don't know if you're single or like you're dating, but we're not gonna like drop his links in the comment section because you're gonna get blown up. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, where you at?
That's fine, man. Chatty Cathy over here. I love stories. I love hearing about other people's stories. That's a big reason why I enjoy talking to people, because everybody has a life story, and sometimes you got to get them talking a little bit to actually hear that life story.
100%.
Not everybody is welcome to it. Like, I put up that wall hardcore.
Oh yeah, big time.
I haven't talked about a lot of stuff, and I haven't even harped on like an eighth of it really.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started right now.
But like, sometimes, as we kind of like chalked on before,
Yeah.
you got to really open up some of these conversations to really allow a blueprint for the younger generation that doesn't see that. So when they do get put into that pool, they know how to get out if they can't swim. Because you get pushed in a pool and you don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
If it's deep waters, what are you probably doing? You're probably drowning.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But if I teach you how to swim in those waters the correct way from that foundation up, brother, you can get pushed in a pool 10 times out of 10. You know what you're doing?
Yeah.
You swim to the edge and you're getting out.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to dry off and you're going to go somewhere.
Big time.
And where you choose to go, that's your choice.
Big time.
Self-reflect.
100%. And also, I was going to say, like, as a parent, it's kind of interesting because they do something that they're not supposed to, right? You discipline. They cry. Then you talk about it. You love them. They slip up again. You're there dropping the hammer. And it's kind of interesting how, like, I understand more of God's grace because I have children. How can you love someone unconditional, but also like discipline them?
100%.
Now I get the character of God. Like,
no,
I'm like,
100%.
wow. Now it's like clicking. It makes more sense to me. Not only that, but I realized that the best mentorship, it's actually by living it out. Because I could talk about, hey, I go to church. I'm about God's business. I could say I'm a business owner. I could say whatever I want to my children, to my family, to you, to everybody. But if behind closed doors, I'm not living it out, everything is rubbish. Everything is garbage.
I agree.
And I do feel, and this is something that I might just challenge my viewers with, for you guys that go to church and you guys are relying on the Sunday school teacher to teach your kids about the Word of God, I'm going to challenge you to do it yourself. I'm going to challenge for you to open up the Word and not only read to your kids the Bible, but live it out. Make that commitment to God, because one thing I see too much of is, public figure is this, private life is something else.
100%.
Now we're with the boys, we could talk a certain way. Oh, now we're with the family, now we got to button up.
It's like, why?
I'm like,
you live two different personalities.
Like, I met people like, wait, bro, like, why are you talking like this? Wait, I thought you were married. Wait, hold, like, I'm having this conversation with guys.
Yeah.
Like, one time there was a guy I was chatting with. He's, oh, look at that girl. He's getting all like descriptive.
The googly eyes.
Everything. He was all up on it. And I'm like, bro, like, again, I had to have this conversation with this person. I'm like, bro, didn't you just tell me that you're married? And he's like, yeah.
Oh, I can look.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, my wife is cool with it. Wait, she's cool with you talking like that about other women?
Yeah.
And then I got on him. He could tell he was very uncomfortable.
He kind of hit one. He's like, yeah.
But one thing that I made it clear, and I make it clear to everybody, you're not going to have certain conversations around me, right? Like, that conversation is not going to happen around me.
You know what's crazy? That comes back to that quote. You're not allowing what these people say about you to dictate how you view yourself. You're standing on your...
Everybody's coming back. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why when I say that quote, and I might be word for word on it too. I couldn't tell you, but like along those lines, that sits on my soul so hard.
That's deep.
Because at the end of the day, if you can't self-respect or have that with your own self, like, you really aren't waking up with a purpose. And I'm not trying to like throw shade on anybody like that, because we all battle demons. Like, 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. That's the furthest. I am imperfectly perfect is what I like to say. And there's a reason why I say that, because if I was perfect, I'm not naturally perfect.
You'd be Jesus.
Like, I'm not him.
Yeah,
I don't want to be him or anywhere close to him, right? I want to be close to him in here, but I'm not him in physicality form.
Of course.
Like, I can't say I can die for everybody in this world to forgive their sins.
Yeah.
And that's something that I wish I could, but that's why I believe in this man so much, right? And so just taking that step back, it's just
crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
It gets me going sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. It gets me really going.
Oh, me too, man. But I love the fact that you said what you said earlier, and I just reflected on being a parent and the character of God, and also living it out, being true to yourself, being true to God. Because at the end of the day, you could try to teach your kids a lot of different things, but
if you're not leading,
they're actually going to be watching what you do and how you do it, and they're going to process that more than you actually pointing to something.
Like you could talk about church all day, but if you're never really going to church on Sundays, like what do they see? Like, okay, he talks about church, but like I ain't never been to church.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, hey, wake up on Sunday morning, just go to church real quick. A sermon's an hour.
That's crazy.
What do you do with it? You can't give an hour to God? You talk about him for like 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
You can't give him an hour?
Yeah, but the game comes on, boom, all of a sudden.
Sunday football.
Nothing wrong against sports, but it seems like people would rather watch other grown men play.
Yeah, and if it's that serious, hey, let me tell you something. Every single sermon out there, 9 out of 10, you can just watch it online. Dedicate that time. Wake up early, pre-record it. Get your sermon in. Talk to Jesus and say, oh, I might not go to church. Well, cool. I'm going to dedicate this 10 minutes right here. I'm going to read maybe one page of scripture, and I'm going to really sit down there, self-reflect, highlight, and I'm going to pray for 10 minutes. So I'm going to dedicate. You choose that time to dedicate to him. He's not asking you for an hour. He's not asking you for a day.
No.
You could ask you for 5 seconds. He's just like, hey, I need you to dedicate however much time you can.
Yeah.
You dedicate that to me, that's all I can ask for.
Oof.
And you do that, you'd be surprised how much you start dedicating your actual time to God.
Yeah. You're like telling people to do like the baby step.
Yeah, because because
my approach is a little more rough around the edges.
And so I feel like from this, and the only reason I say that, and I come from a coaching background and a sports background, sometimes they want to throw that is day one of practice. Haven't even played a game yet, right? Looking to the offseason baseball. What's our end goal? World Series, playoffs, World Conference Championship. We got to get here. All right, well, here's the thing. We ain't getting there if we can't win this one,
small W's.
So we all looking for, and there's nothing wrong with looking at the bigger picture. Have that as the big bubble at the end game.
Yeah.
But if you can't accomplish every step, that's like you trying to jump across a bridge.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You're going to fall and you're going to hurt yourself. You're probably going to die. You have to be able to get there. So we're going to think about game one. We win it. All right, cool. Hey, we're one step closer to our end goal.
Yeah.
When you think of it like that, then you start giving your full battle focus to 1, 2, 3. And the next thing you know you stuck to your roots with the faith and what your plan was.
Yeah.
You're at your end game.
Beautiful.
But the moment you start falling off that, you start doing this. That loss goes, dang, we're down the standings now. That loss, now we're down the standings. Like, bro, you're really getting further away from your end goal because you can't focus on literally what's right in front of you.
That's so crazy. One thing that just came to mind right now is a scripture in Romans. Don't be conformed by the ways of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind.
Oh.
Bro, how do you process that scripture in today's day?
It's hard. And I really wished we weren't in today's era. For you young kids out there watching, if you are just younger generation, the generation that like, I can't even say me yet, but like our parents kind of got to grow up in, is night and day to what you guys are about to like get kind of brought up in.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like what you guys are seeing now, like y'all have I feel like they just rely on the technology.
Everything is different.
It's just like, oh, hey, I'm gonna let all this stuff consume me. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like why? Like now you guys expect stuff to come to you. It's like, hey, back in the day, you know why these guys are so much like blue collared guys? They didn't allow stuff to come to them. They're like, oh, I gotta go get it. I gotta go take it. And not take it like I gotta go take it from me physically, but I gotta go put myself forward. Like I'm gonna go do that. Like I'm gonna be whatever it is, I'm gonna be a teacher. I'm gonna be a sports player. I'm gonna go be a preacher and travel the world and like spread the word of God. They saw this journey and was like, oh, I can't wait to attack that.
Yeah.
You get kids nowadays, you'd be like, the journey could be 4 days in front of them. Like, dang man, I gotta wait 4 days and do all this to get there. It's like, brother, you put your head down and grind. 4 days comes like it's tomorrow. Like, why do you think like that? And I just think it's just coming back full circle. You're a product of your environment, of how you come up, and the way our generation is now just kind of scares me a little bit.
Oh, that's crazy. So as you were talking, one thing that I was thinking about is like a reward system. Maybe there's people that are, older than us that reward themselves a little bit different. Maybe it's like, man, like I'm going to work hard to provide, to put food on the table, to buy a house, right? Now it seems like maybe the reward system is different.
100%.
It's almost like I'm going to do this, but I want to get rewarded
Like I want it now. Like I don't want to, but I feel like that's what takes the pride away from it. And so I'm gonna kind of go back into what we're doing in sales, right?
Yeah.
Getting a lot of quotes, right?
Yeah.
Not winning them. So a lot of people could be like, oh, okay, like choose to respond like, I'm not winning quotes. Like this sucks, man. Like, man, I need that first one. I'm gonna go down. No. I was talking to my GSM literally yesterday about this. She was like, you doing good? I was like, oh, I'm better than when I first came on. She's like, and she did one of these.
Ooh.
She was like, oh, okay. She's like, can you elaborate a little bit on that? I was like, I've lost so many quotes that my fire has grown so much higher because I know when I get that one, because they're coming daily.
Oh, bro.
When I get that one, that's a domino. Let me tell you something. Girl, I've been racking up dominoes. So that thing ain't just going like 10 dominoes deep and just done.
Dang.
We racking.
Oof.
She was like, I've never heard Drop Trailer talk like that. I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on, brother?
You want to be in the podcast too?
Hey, he's trying to. We got some extra people.
Hey, get over here. Get in here, guys. Whoever's back there. Get in here.
I think it was
Say what's up.
Just working a little harder, man.
Oh, Ian?
Sometimes you got to stay past the hours to really get that grind. But she was just like, I've never really seen AR talk. And I was like, and I literally told her this. I was like, you've never had a Drop Trailer account rep like me. And that's with me kind of coming full circle, just like the quotes and what I talked about earlier is I hold myself to such a standard. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's cocky. I just deal a lot of confidence and I know what I can accomplish. And I will bet on myself even if I fail. 10 out of 10.
Hot.
I'm
coming in hot.
If I have $1 million and they bet on who's going to win this competition? Me. Why would I put my faith in somebody else when I know exactly what I can control in this world?
So powerful. I read a book by Ed Milet. Shout out to Ed Milet. Hopefully we can have him on the show soon. Oh. I mean, he has like millions of followers, so maybe not. But anyways, not yet.
Hey, baby steps.
Baby steps. All right, guys. But if you guys have contacts with Ed Milet, hit him up. Connect us. But he wrote a book recently, The Power of One More.
I like that title.
Oh, powerful title. Powerful title.
Very
in
grasping.
That book, he says you're one email, one connection, one call, one text message, one introduction, one more hour away from a completely different life.
And that's what we were. Oh, you could say that again. I could because, and the only reason why I'm a harp on this with our work is because that's what they always harp on our work and what we do. I mean, we're logistic brokers, kind of in the sales world, very dog eat dog. One account can change your life.
Everything.
You just like say hypothetically, like we have a gentleman here, one of the top brokers, like almost like out of all of Total Quality, moving some energy drinks and some hydration drinks, right? You close that one account, like that dude makes almost 3/4 of that off his yearly pay per paycheck. Yeah. And it was never, oh, hey, I want to jump to there. Grinded from the ground up, decided to water his seed the right way. Yeah. And I mean, that man grew from the dirt.
So good. In Proverbs, I read that all work leads to profit. And some people that read that, or that in a situation where they're grinding and like nothing is happening. Man, this is 6 months. Man, nothing's happened. 2 years, nothing's happened. 5 years. You know what? I'm gonna change jobs, careers, whatever the case. But what's interesting is that Japanese companies, their business plan is at least minimum 100 years. Yeah. Right?
And there's a reason why.
And there's a reason for that, right? They go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. But going back to the Proverbs, all work leads to profit, meaning that you could be doing work for 2-3 years and you're not getting anywhere, but you're getting 1% better every day.
100%.
Every month.
Or you reverse and you could be grinding for just those 3 months. You'd be like, dang, I really didn't think I thought I was going to be here in the 3 months, but I'm not. So it's like, it's quick. It's like, well, why don't you just dedicate that 3 more years? Because what I like to tell people in today's world is like, think of it as an hourglass. You got sand, right? Yeah. But no one tells you how much sand you got. Yeah. So you could have had just a small scoop of sand. Hey, baby, you got 4 days. Boom. Or someone might have filled that thing all the way up, brother. You got years. But no one tells you how much sand you got. But the only thing they're going to tell you, hey, once your sand is up, you will get to where you need to get, right? You will accomplish what you need to accomplish. Whatever you're asking for will be rewarded. So if you're safe, keep this in the religious kind of belief. You pray to God, right, for something going on in your life, or hey, like I want $1 million. You're asking Him for something. He's gonna answer you. Yeah. He's gonna be like, when the sand runs out, what you are asking for will be granted. But I'm not gonna tell you how much sand I'm gonna fill your hourglass up. And that comes to this one word, faith. And if you have true faith in Him, I'll answer and respond to God and be like, fill that thing all the way up, because I will never lose faith in you, because I know once I do run out of time, I'm going to something greater.
Oof. Powerful. If you guys feel him knocking, gotta let him in, baby. Come on,
brother. Come on, man. There's a reason why he knocks. The devil's gonna bust. The devil's not gonna knock. I learned this the hard way. The devil's not gonna knock. God's gonna knock.
Yeah.
And ask for permission to come in. It is my decision to, hey, am I gonna grant you permission to come into my life, or am I gonna slam the door in your face? Right? The devil's busting that bad boy. He's coming in there, whatever you kind of terminology to go. He's busting that door and invading my space, and I'm gonna allow it every single time, right? Or am I gonna be, this ain't your house, man? Yeah. Boo him out. God's not gonna do that. Because look, here's the thing: if God was doing that, everybody would have, in your own religion, you would be magically happy, right? You'd be like, I have no worries in the world. Yeah. That's not how it is. Because He wants you to challenge you. Coming back to the whole Judas thing, I'm gonna come knock on your door. Are you gonna let me in or not?
Such a gentleman.
And you can shut the door on me 5 times and I'm gonna still come by? Boom. Are you ready to let me in yet? Yeah. No? Okay. Boom. I'm gonna come back though.
It's interesting how much He pursues us, even when we mess up. Dude, He's still there. I'm like, really? I should be dead. I should be in prison. Dude, you know, same thing probably for you.
When I had the whole bar outcome, or like how I kind of told you about the story about getting jumped with the car window, like I had told myself, I'm hurting you, and once you're broken, bro, I could care 2 craps what are your friends doing to me, but y'all could beat me up on the ground. I don't care. You know why? Because I got mines for what you did to mines. Whew. But now that I think of it like that, right? Say I do die at a young age. I'm not here helping guide my brothers, sisters, children's to being the best human beings they can, right? And shout out to their parents because their parents are doing the best job ever, right? But I'm not an uncle to them anymore, like, right? I exist in pictures. Or my mom lost a son, right? No. I know it's hard, but I bury my parents. My parents do not bury me. I deal with that burden because that's life. Yeah. They don't go through the whole process of struggle just to bury me and their child just for me to go do something stupid and die. No. That ain't happening to me, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things where I really was taking a step back and like self-reflecting on a lot of stuff going forward. And like that just kind of going back to the very beginning kind of on my life story. It's just something I just never truly did, nor did I care to do. Like, there was never a care. It's like, okay, but I'm invincible. I'm young. If I die, cool, like whatever. That's crazy. I didn't know life. I didn't know the domino effect of that domino would do to so many other people, friends, family. Yeah. Just anything, right? Like, it does. No one knows that. Absolutely. I coached 2 kids that are dang near going to college baseball. Like, I don't coach them. They don't know me. Maybe they still get there with somebody else. I don't know. But everybody's story gets different.
Yep, 100%. So what would you say to someone that grew up in the hood that think, hey, I could never get a better job. I could never start my own business. I could never be successful. I could never buy a house. What kind of advice will you have for them? And also, what advice will you have for people that have had it good for a very long time? Maybe they grew up with money and they're just super comfortable and there's no drive, there's no passion, there's no conviction.
But they have everything given handed to them.
But they have everything handed to them.
I got 2 words for each.
Drop it.
First word on that, like the struggle, your struggle, how do you be the anomaly? Okay. The moment you grasp concept on, I don't care what anybody thinks of me, I'm going to do me, separate yourself from the pack and be the anomaly, you're going to see the bigger picture. It's going to open that door. God's going to open that door for you. Be the anomaly. Now, for the other guys that got raised, you got the whole 9, right? You know what I'm saying? You ask, cool. Yeah. Be humble.
Oh, wow.
There ain't nothing wrong with you growing up like that. And there ain't nothing wrong with you growing up here. Y'all doing the same thing. So you're separating yourself from the pack. Be the anomaly. Be the greater picture. Because you know why? You're the first to do it. I'm not saying the whole pack's going to follow, but I promise you, if you're going to get a few of them out, right? Yeah. You here. You get a neighborhood, product your environment, all rich, cool. Be humble. Separate yourself. And watch you guys come here. And you know what's crazy? You 2 parties hate each other at first. Now y'all are best friends accomplishing the same goal going forward in life.
Wow. We're going to end it there because we keep going, guys. Literally, we're going to continue to talk after this podcast. And we're going to have you back on the show, bro.
Oh, best believe that. This is...
Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to just thank you again, man. Just I know we've kind of been like really trying to get this like locked in for a few weeks now. I knew this time was coming. I kind of left it up in God's hands because a lot of stuff, what I was kind of telling him, a lot of stuff that I really couldn't control was kind of happening, just kind of moving and stuff like that. But I chose to always kind of put that best foot forward, respond well, never frowned upon anything. I was missing a lot of stuff that I was kind of getting upset along the way. But I was like, hey, there's a reason why, right?
There's a reason.
And now we're here on a Friday. Like, it's just, there's a reason, man. You trust in God's plan, watch those doors open. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, how can people connect with you?
I mean, I guess we can drop some links on the bottom, or however you want to do that. We'll drop some links on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn with the work. I mean, at the end of the day, you can really drop my cell phone, because if there's anybody who really wants to reach out to even talk like that, I'm more than welcome to be an open ear. I'll sit there for hours and let you talk my head, like ears, head off. Like, I'm here for you because I've been there. Like, I've been on your side, the struggle bus.
But I just say, if you're trying to date or something like that, just take it easy. You know what I mean? Like,
enjoy your life.
No, not date you. Hey, you know what I mean?
There's a reason why your boy has only dated one person his whole entire life. I really hold my cards. I'm really comfortable in my own shoes, and I'm trying to experience life before I really got to dedicate it to a family that I'm associated with.
100%. See that? So pump the brakes. I'm need a disclaimer.
But hey, if you got to shoot your shot, I ain't going to say no.
So, hey, I'm going to drop the links below. Again, thank you so much for joining us here today, all the viewers. Bro, thank you so much for coming on.
I appreciate that.
We're going to do part 2, 3, or 4 coming up soon.
To be continued. With
that being said, keep fighting the good fight. Stay in prayer, and also stay dangerous. We're out.